Welcome back, everybody. My name is Jug, and this one's going to be fun. This is kind of like a Coliseum. I was requested to make a Coliseum in the last video, and okay, so this isn't really a Coliseum, but it is kind of like a stadium. It's got these bleacher-style seats, and all these lights going down. It really looked like a nice stadium where you could have a 1v1 PvP match. I think you're going to like it. Some of the highlights to this place is going to be the tier style seating. You can just go right into this front door here and take a seat. I've got benches all along the sides here, and there's a little fighting pit right down the center. And something special about these doors, I put a little garage door opener there, and we just let people come out and start shooting each other. We had a lot of fun. I'm going to show you how I built this, and then we're going to have a lot of fighting at the end. Not a lot, but a little bit. Now, generally, when I start a building, I like to just build a square around the camp node like that. And that camp node is right where that green foundation is, right there in the center. And then off of that green foundation, I build two crosses. And those crosses is so I can build these little half circles around the sides. Now, you've seen me do these circles plenty of times before. If you need any more tips with how I'm doing this, feel free to check some other videos on my page. It's not a difficult method. You just got to make sure that these are all doorways when you're moving these foundations, and you'll be able to just move the foundation right out from underneath these walls. Now I'm just showing you a few of these. I don't want to go into this too deeply because I know that I've done this a lot. So let's just go ahead and put these foundations into place. Yeah, put this one right here. I'm just going to put them there just for markers for right now. I'll probably end up moving them later. Now we get a nice circle here, or a half circle, but I do make a mistake on this. And I want to go over there and show you. I built this too high. I should have started with the lowest ground first. And, you learn from your mistakes. So I'm going to go ahead and just wipe this out of the way and rebuild it real quick and just come right back. Now, I'm skipping a lot of the rebuilding that I just did there, so you don't have to rewatch all of that. We just jumped ahead, and this is what it looks like. You got this side here, and then this side with the split down the center. And now this is really neat. This was a doorway with a garage right behind it. Now, in order to do that, I'm just moving these foundations to the side. And that's going to give me a new snapping point for these garage doors. Now, I don't actually keep the foundations. I move them out of the way eventually, but I'm just going to go ahead and show you what this will look like. Once I have these walls, now you got to make sure they're facing this way, or the inside is facing this way, because you need room for the other side for the garage door to fit. I'm just going to switch that to the metal doorway. And see how those are moved to the side? They're like split down the center there. And that way I can snap a garage right there to those foundations. But let's use this one so the decal doesn't kind of get blocked by the doorway. Now, this is what I was talking about. I actually take those foundations out and rebuild these walls up to a roof. And then I use this roof to then snap the garage door back into place. That way I don't have to worry about these foundations being connected to the garage door, and I can move the foundations anywhere I want now. Okay, so I want to test this door just real quick. I'm going to drop just a power generator. Any power generator would be fine, but I have this in my storage, so I'm just going to go ahead and drop this. connect it just to see what it looks like. That's exactly what I wanted. So let's go ahead and put these half walls in, fill in this half circle on the outside. And, you know, I was really lucky to get some of these in here. I've noticed that for some reason I'm able to place these much further into the ground than I used to be able to. So that could have been something that's changed with a patch. I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. Just run these half walls all the way around, just to kind of give it some kind of base. And then on the back side, where it's too far from the ground, you can actually use the large walls, but it does take some practice getting those in there. You might just need to wiggle it around a little bit. You can get them to fit. Let's talk about this though. These half walls that go along the outside of this arena, I want them to be a little bit lower. So they were just a little bit too tall when I snapped them into place at the same height as these foundations. So I dropped them down, and once the wall's in place, then I can put the foundation right in front of it, right here, just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and take these roofs, lead them all the way down. This is going to be the ground floor to the bleachers. But before I can put these half walls in, I got to take the foundations in front of them out. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you right here. This is not snapping into place. That means that this has to come out. Even though it's not on top of it, for some reason it's in the way. It must just be barely clipping it. It could have just been where I had moved the foundation down. I didn't move it down exactly the right way. Could have just inched it to the left a bit and it started touching these foundations. But once you get that all done, it just looks a little bit like that. I'll do the same thing to the other side, but first I want to go ahead and show you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to bring this across. I can go ahead and clean all these up now that I've already got it marked on the other side. Because now I can put the wall in on that side as well, just like I have the wall on this side. And they'll be the same height because I just brought it across. So I don't have to worry about anything not matching. So the first part of this finer detail is this railing. And I'm making these with these advanced power conduits, or I guess they're the advanced power connectors. I don't know what they are when you buy them, but they're called conduits, so we'll go with that. Anyways, I'm just placing it on a table and then just kind of lining it up so it looks like it's straight going across. And if I don't move them to the side and I just put these vertical pieces in, it's going to look kind of like a V. Now, I mean, I could have just kept it like that. That looks all right, but I want it separated. I want it to look like other railings that I've seen before. And generally, I don't see them veering off like V's like that. So I'm just going to move this out, put a table back underneath one of these, and just drag it to the side. Once I've dragged that to the side, I'll then be able to place these vertical pieces back in. They'll go right through the roof. And then you get a nice space just like that. I know it's a little dark, but here we go. Here's in the light. That looks much better. That's all you do. The next step I wanted to show you is how I made this tiered seating. It is, basically where the bleacher area is. And I do it the same way I do on the steps of the brewery. I just take these foundations and manually drag them up a step. Now you only have to do this once for each step. After that you can use the roof to connect them all. But I don't know if you can see that line. The closer I get here, the harder it is to see. but there's a very fine white line where the foundation used to be. I want it just below this darker part of the concrete. And I'm just going to snap it, not snap it, but I'm just going to drag it up and place it right there. And then I'm going to move it to the side 1/2 step. And this is generally how I always move things to the side. And then I'll just go ahead and put a foundation there. Get rid of these steps or stairs. Get rid of all of that. And then just move the foundation over. And then now I should be able to have a roof snap above it. But, okay, there's one key. Here it is. There it is. See how that item is floating up in the right corner there? Now, in order to fix that, you just got to have a fireplace. So I'm going to take this roof, just go around here, and I said a fireplace. Campfire, whatever. Yeah, that's all you got to do. See how it's floating? I'll go grab this campfire again. Let's put it up on top of here. You place it anywhere as long as it's just overlapping that area. You don't want it overlapping too much or it's going to get in the way. But just a little bit. I can go ahead and put a half wall there. And once there's a half wall on one of these roofs, that's going to let me get rid of all the other roofs. I didn't necessarily have to get rid of that roof, but I did. I'm just going to put them all back. Use these campfires to do that. You got to make sure there's a campfire there. That's really the one key that prevents you from putting these roofs too close to one another. And that's what the first step looks like. Let's go ahead and jump ahead. There's the third step. Or it's kind of the third step. There's one on the bottom and then a second and then a second. Basically a 3-layered bleacher here because I'm going to have 3 rows of seating going through there. And now down this center, I just want to bring the roof all the way around to a foundation. Once that foundation's in place though, I got to move it back over to the side a half step once again. So I just drag that over. Now I just bring it back with roofs into a slanted roof, into these angled walls here. And then I can go ahead and get rid of this roof here. Well, I guess I didn't need to get rid of that one. I can put that one back. And then attach another angled wall to that side. That'll be railing for these bleachers. And these half walls, they're actually going through this roof just a little bit. That's fine, but I should have waited until after I put the benches in. These benches became a little bit difficult to actually place when I was up against this wall. So if you're doing this, you might want to put the wall in after you put these bleachers in, or the benches rather. They take a little bit of time to line them up, so have a little patience if you're lining up these benches. But once you get all done, you get that side done, you get the other side done, it starts to look pretty nice. Really, these benches is what really stood out for me and made me think, okay, this might actually work. It might look good when it's finished. So I'm just about done putting the final touches on this place. I'm going to go ahead and let you take a quick look at it. Now the power, I actually run the power down underneath the benches. That way, well, for obvious reasons, I don't want wires running all over the place. And then they lead to all these lights. And, well, I thought it looked pretty good. Especially from this aerial view. It really does look well lit. It looks like a big stadium. And it's ready for fighting. It's ready for some people. So I get some of my friends and they come over here and we all have a good time. We just go out here, bash each other and just get a little rough out here in the PvP arena. Try out a few different weapons. And here we got a couple nurses fighting it up with some flame weapons. Now, I had a lot of fun making this. I think everybody had a lot of fun playing in it. But if this is the kind of stuff that you like to see, you want to see more of this, and you liked this, hit that like button. It'll let me know, and I will bring some more out, and we'll try something different next time. Anyways, I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. It's been a blast.